Okay, so a couple weeks ago I bought, hold on a second, I'll show you. I'm back. I bought injectors for my truck. Now I didn't buy the proper injectors for the truck. I actually bought for an older truck because they didn't have the ones for the 2010. But I was told that they'll work, they'll be fine. They just have a different spray pattern down here at the tip. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that didn't work. They worked just fine. I actually had more power. Seemed like it had more power. Put that back over there, please. It seemed to have more power, but there was something wrong with them. They are remanufactured, so that was the cheap route, is to get remanufactured injector tips. And they're supposed to be flow matched, and you're supposed to get better fuel economy. And right away, I went from like 14.5 miles a gallon to 15.7 miles to the gallon, which I was like, woohoo, yippee, skippy. Seemed like I had more power, seemed like I had better fuel economy. But then all of a sudden, I fueled up down in Frenchtown, and I got water in my fuel because there's steam coming out the ass end of this truck pipe. I thought, fuck, that's weird. That's really weird. That's really weird. I shouldn't have that. Well, steam coming out, and it wouldn't start. The son of a bitch wouldn't start. So I thought, well, it's got to be those injectors. You know, it took the injector. So I bought injector cleaner, poured that down there. Didn't help. Actually made it worse. The injectors were leaking. I'd start the truck up and blue smoke. It wouldn't start. It would start. It would turn over. So I just decided, you know what, to hell with it. I'm going to go down to Napa and I'm going to buy Eichmann injectors, which are probably made by Bosch, because that's what came out of here. It doesn't say Bosch on them, but they look the same. And they work, because I put one bank in. I ordered them in, put one side in, I didn't put the other side in because the other side, I was short one. Carl had picked them up. Yes, Carl. Carl, you know Carl. Carl picked them up down at Milford Auto, and he lost one in his truck. So I was short one last night, so I could only put half the side in. Well, these things aren't cheap. I bought the ones off the internet, off of eBay, for $139 for 8 of them. But the reality of it is, the fuel injectors were $380 for all 8. So less than $100 a piece for them. And last night, with even one bank on, I could feel a difference, that it was actually seemed like it had more power yet, which is kind of weird. But other than that, you know, that's it. So yeah, now I'm going to put them in. Stop yammering around and put them in. That's it. Go in, you know. Anyway, so what you got to do is you got to pull the wires off. You can unhook that thing and get it down in here if you want. So this is pretty easy to do. These wires, they just got a little clip on the backside. You push and you pull, and that takes them off of the injector. And then you pull the whole entire injector bank out, okay? It should be pretty easy. Don't be afraid. If you've ever been to a mechanic shop, it's not like it's surgery on your baby. It's no big deal. They don't care. They just rip that shit right out of there. So, what do we got here? I got an electrical wire that's in my way. Yeah, so, shoot. I'm going to have to dig that one out. So wait, I'm going to pull that off. And, I don't know. Here's this wire's got to come off so I can do this properly. I think this thing comes off too. What do we got here? That is a fuel part. You can't really do that one too easily. I wouldn't suggest pulling that one out just yet, but maybe I can. High pressure fuel rail. So that's pressurized. Yeah. All right. So let me get a screwdriver, and I'll show you how to pop those little bastards off of there.
Voila.
That's for the cruise control. Who needs cruise control? So anyway, what you do, you take your screwdriver here and you get a little pry on the back side of this guy here and watch the gas. Oh yeah. It's good shit right there, right? Now, you just kind of get up in here and you do this crap here, and those things don't want to lock on because they suck. The gas is running. You should smoke a cigarette while you're doing this too. It's always a good thing. You know, collect the insurance policy when you're done. And say, oh, I didn't realize I couldn't smoke and work on my truck at the same time. It wasn't in the operator's manual. It's Ford's fault. I want a Raptor now. All right, and that's how that works. Yeah. Oh yeah, you did. Dog. Oh yeah, listen to that gas run. High pressure fuel rail running right down into the freaking the ports. Yeah, that's it. Okay, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the hard side. Mr. Joe can actually move the camera away, so you got to pull these off of here. Oh man, this thing's just stubborn. Stubborn. Okay, so these little clips, you're going to need these. Don't lose these. What are you doing, Joe?
Putting your stand back together.
Looks like these things want to be a pain in my ass. Really should have a bench, but here at OLF Auto Industries, we don't give a shit. We just drop it on the ground like a normal human being would, right?
Right.
Like, you know, because you ever watch those YouTube channels, these guys are like, well, you have to have this sterile environment, you know? So you got this sterile environment.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, a sterile environment where you can surgically work on your car. Well, in the real world, who the hell has that? Do you know anybody that has that?
No.
I certainly do not either. So, this is your little keeper doodad. Put that on your injector first. I learned this the last time. So, these are actually better than... So you put those on your injector first because it'll work out a lot easier. Got a nice sterile bite. Right,
That's what teeth are used for. Like, that's what they're meant for, right?
Yeah, that's what teeth are for, you know, to bite shit. Not vegetables either, meat. No vegetarians allowed here. Actually, I don't mind a vegetarian. It's a vegans are assholes. Vegans are assholes. They just, a vegetarian, they eat vegetables, you know, fish, shit like that. They don't eat beef or pork or chicken, but they'll eat fish, you know, so they're decent. But a vegan's a special kind of asshole. They refuse to eat anything other than vegetables, and this is where they really turn into assholes, and they like to criticize and argue with people that actually enjoy a McDonald's hamburger from time to time. You know, is there something wrong with that?
No, I'm pretty sure vegans are okay with McDonald's hamburgers because they're not actual meat.
They are actual meat, 100% grade A beef. You know, vegans are not happy about McDonald's. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Arby's. Oh, Arby's, can't have Arby's. That shit's raw. You know, but anyways, I don't even know. How did we get onto this subject?
I don't know.
I don't know either. My mind's a dangerous place. So anyways, these clips, you watch. It's just like, there they go. And they snap in place very easily, right? There it is. So the clip is on there. The reason I'm saying that is because if you see it's got little wings on it right there, those will receive the high pressure rail line easily. So I'm going to curl my fat ass up, well, my ass up here. I don't want to hang up my man boobs on something, so I got to be real careful. Did you hear that? Somebody called me, I said I had man boobs. I don't think I have man boobs. Moobs. I'm like, who the hell do you think you are? I'd like to see your body, scumbag. Anyway, yesterday this went on so easy. Oh, yeah. Okay. I can't demonstrate it back here. But watch, ready? There it is.
Oh, I do just fine.
They just lock on. Did you see it? Get the camera. That's how easy they go on. Because they have to lock into place. If you don't do them in the right spot, you're going to have leaks, and it's not going to get good gas mileage, and you're going to have problems. So there it is. Boom. Locks in place. Very easy. So, yeah. And then, after you're done doing that, like this, right? Oh, yeah, baby. There it is. It's in place. I got one last one to do, which is going to be the hard one. Which I like to do the hard ones first, but today just isn't my day to do hard ones first. I don't know why. At least that's what she said. Oh, man. Maybe I'll have to do it left-handed. See, this wire here is really pissing me off. I can't get it out. But anyway, let's do it left-handed maybe. Nope. So this is the hard one. Obviously, I'm struggling to do it. And then...
Excuse me? There you go.
Okay, so I didn't have to figure out how to get the wire off. I just got a little manhandle-ish on it. And the real nice thing about these things is they're preset. There you go. They go right where they belong. So when you push the rail down, you just push it in place, and it's in the manifold. Which on these trucks, they're plastic intake manifolds. I think they're all going that way. I don't think Chevy's any different. They build these trucks to run. They don't really build them like they used to. Everything has gotten super duper cheap. You'll watch yourself. I gotta get over here and grab the 8mm guy. Come on.
Don't you love how trucks have gotten cheaper, like quality-wise, but they've gotten more expensive?
Well, it's all from a lot of it's from manufacturing, speed and ease of manufacturing, and planned obsolescence. If they built a truck like those over there, I guarantee you, in 60 years, 70 years, well, 1941, 75, 80 years, almost, yeah, 75, 77, 78 years, you don't see a 2010 Ford pickup truck. Or, you know, you're just not going to see it. If you see it, it was in a museum somewhere. It's like the Ford Museum. It's not going to be on the road. Of course, those trucks there, they were very local vehicles. They weren't really they didn't really go that far. I mean, they would go, but go into town with a load of corn. Come back, you know, shit like that. Family cars were worn out at 50,000 miles because more or less it was because of the lubricants that were used in those vehicles. It wasn't so much that the quality of the craftsmanship was bad or whatnot. It's the lubricants, you know, paraffin, wax, oils, and so anyway, so that part's done. So now all you have to do is reattach the injector plug wires, right? Which should be should be quite easily done. Like this, right, left, right,
Center.
and then left, right, and center, and of course, oh, you're gonna be a dickhead, aren't you? Why is something not feeling right there? I can't see. I don't have a flashlight that functions anymore in here. I bought decent lights, right? Decent flashlights, and they're junk. Did that thing snap into its place? It did. It did not. Or did it? Yeah, it snapped in. Well, what the hell? Yeah, we're in. Duh. Okay, just to make sure that everything is where it belongs. Yes, the metal ring is where it belongs. The metal ring is where it belongs. The metal ring is where it belongs. And yes, the metal ring is where it belongs. Now, one thing I will tell you, do not start the truck up without putting all of the air plumbing on the intake system. You can't do it. It has mass airflow. What the hell? Are there holes in that? Yes, there is. It has mass airflow sensors and other sensors that have to actually be hooked up. If they're not hooked up, it causes timing problems like this stuff. You don't have this on, which, explain to me what this is. I know what it is, but why did they have to do this? This is actually, Joe's cutting the damn thing off, or like, watch this. Instead of having a pair of pliers to do that, you just go, hello. Boom, snapped on. See, you're learning all kinds of weird tricks of the trade, Joe.
Yes.
Joe. And you put this bubbly octopus looking thing on there. There. And there. And if you don't tighten it up before you start your truck, guess what? It'll do the same thing. It'll be like, I don't like you anymore. I don't like you anymore. And it won't run right. And it'll make funny noises. You gonna ask me how I know that?
You did it?
Last night, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So don't do that. It goes, crack! Mm-hmm. Actually backfires up through the intake. Not a good idea. No, it's all 8mm. I generally use. You can use a screwdriver on this, but you can get them tighter with a socket. And the way I look at it is, they wouldn't have put hex heads on them if they didn't want you to tighten them down. And Joseph can go, turn the key on, let the fuel pump pump. Give me the camera real quick. Let the fuel pump pump. Give me there's the camera. And then I'll have him fire it up.
Just turn the key?
Just turn the key to the on position. You can get in it. Go ahead, give her a shot, see what happens. That quick. So now she's running super smooth. Sounds like she's running. Let's listen. I don't see any steam coming out. Not much steam anyway. Watch this. Steamy. So yeah, sounds good. I'm just hoping to get a lot better fuel mileage out of it, because when I bought the truck I could get up to 22 miles per gallon out of this thing. And over the last 170,000 miles it has decreased to 12, 14, depending on what I'm doing. If I take a long trip, 15, 16 miles to the gallon. If I reset it and go, it never goes any more than 15, 16. But when it was brand new, remember when we went to the Florida Keys and we were getting like 22 miles to the gallon with this thing? Brandy spanking new. I'm like, holy shit, if I got 22 miles to the gallon with this thing throughout its life would be good. Good and cheap, right? But no, that only lasted a couple of years. And, you know, but whatever. I put my tools away, and that's that.